So you motherfuckers really think you understand what's going on in society, though? You think you really know what's going on behind the scenes. Well, let me tell you what the fuck's going behind the scenes that you are unaware of. You think y'all are so powerful because you got motherfuckers on your side doing what you want them to do? Well, guess what? They got strings on you too. The whole government has got strings on you too. While you think you got strings on other people, they got strings on you, though. Realize the government has been trying to make us weaker in order to control us. That's been their whole strategy for the longest fucking time. The only way they can control us is by making us weaker. So they offered us comfort, conformity, everything that can make us feel safe. All in the promises that we're going to be happier people, that we're going to be living the American dream. And guess what? We're not happier people. We never have been. That was just a false promise they offered us. All the things that they possibly give us would never make us happy, no matter what we did. And so we know that shit. We even know that shit. Juice WRLD knew that shit. He had all the money in the world, and yet he was still miserable because it's not money that makes you fucking happy. They always act like money is going to make you happy. And so they'll give you money to promise you that it's going to make you happy. And then when you finally find out it doesn't, and it's been making you weak this whole damn time, it's already too late. They give us all this food to beef us up for the slaughter that's going to happen. That's all they're doing. Feeding us so they can slaughter us at their fucking slaughterhouses, dog. Giving us strength just so they can steal it from us and claim power. That's the whole reason they've been doing all this psychological warfare on us good people, on us actual strong people. And the very people that don't think that they're having the strings on them too, or the very fucking cattle walking straight to the fucking slaughter that I've been warning all about to these people. I'm trying to save them from that, but they don't care. They walk right into the slaughterhouse to get slaughtered by these fucking people that act like they care about you when they never did. This government never cared about us. They only gave us the shit so they could give us power that they could steal from us anyways. So every time they give you something, there's always a string attached to it so they can take power away from you. Every time they give you money, there's strings attached to it so they get you to work for them, get you to invest all this time in their bullshit, and then you waste all that time on them, doing all that shit for them, and then you don't work on yourself. And then you get fucking fat and weaker, and that's exactly what they want, so they can control you even more. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm wrong. If you a fat motherfucker. If you a fat motherfucker that's getting everything he wants. You didn't earn any of that shit. Don't act like you did. You chose the weak path of conformity, though. You chose these easy ass fucking jobs that don't even demand any fucking thing from you except your fucking soul. And you chose it because that offered you comfort. That offered you all the comfort that you could ever want. And guess what? It made you so weak so they can control you. That's what they want. They offer you comfort so they can control you once you become weak. Weak enough to be susceptible to their fucking psyops bullshit. And then you just follow along because you act like they're giving you something. But they're giving you nothing. They're giving you a bunch of strings attached to all their comfort. They're the puppets behind all your actions. They're the ones controlling every action that you make. While you think you're being independent, you're just being sheep for their fucking system. You're just feeding their fucking system so that it can keep running and keep operating in darkness and evil, deception. And you just follow along with it. You give them all this power so they can control you. And then you act like you're in power. No, you're not. Y'all are just sheep going to the slaughterhouse. That's all you're doing. And I've warned you about this shit. I warned you that the path you're walking is right into the slaughterhouse. And you say I'm crazy for warning you that that path that you're going through is only going to lead in your death. Because I walked away from that shit. I walked away from that slaughterhouse that they wanted me to go to. Promised me comfort when All that comfort is just an illusion to get you feeling safety and comfort while you're walking straight towards that slaughterhouse. And once you do get to that slaughterhouse, they will mercilessly kill you, though. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about any of us. The government does not care about us. So why are you giving all this power to the government, though? Ask yourself that question. Why are you giving all this power to the government then? Why are you working for this government? Why are you giving them all the power and not giving yourself that power? And telling me that I'm weak for reclaiming my power by not participating in this fucking system that is taking our power away from us. Really, you think you have all the power when you got strings on you too? You got strings on you too, motherfucker. You think I got strings on me because I cut off all my strings, because I got nothing to lose that they can take away from me, that they can use against me to manipulate me? You think I have strings on me? No, I don't got no strings on me, though. Because they've already taken everything away from me. There is nothing I could even lose anyway. There's nothing they could take away from me that would get me derailed from what I need to do on this fucking planet. And that's my purpose and mission, just to keep evolving. So really, dawg, whose side do you want to work for? Do you want to work for the corrupt government side that really just wants to kill you in the end? Or do you want to work for me, who would actually help you, who would actually help you to rise and evolve, and to actually help you save the fucking world that you say you care so much about, right? You really want the world to be saved, and you got to be a part of the solution, dog. You can't be part of the problem and acting like you're a solution, dog. When you're attacking the solution themselves, me, when you're attacking the solution themselves, me, then you're not the solution. You're a part of the problem. You're the part of the reason why people like me don't even want to talk about this shit. Because all we do is get silenced for our opinion, dog. Not even our opinion, but just the facts. This is a fact that I'm speaking, dog. And every time you make me think I'm crazy, that's you denying the truth that I'm saying. By painting me as being crazy, you can get away with saying all your fucking lies and acting like you're speaking the truth. Because as long as you can paint me as some crazy person, everything that I say will just be called crazy and not real. When it's the truth, dog, that you don't even want to face, dog. You don't want to realize what the fuck's going on behind the scenes. Y'all motherfuckers think you got so much power because you got control of your little clique, while they have controls over everyone, dog. So what the fuck are you in control of? Nothing, dog. You just think you have control because they gave you those strings. They gave you those strings to control the people while they were putting strings on you at the same time. They will promise you fucking power just to take power away from you, dog. If you studied Lord of the Rings and the symbolism from that, you'd understand what they do for power. They give you power just so they can take it away from you. That's the only reason they gave you power. That's the same premise in Lord of the Rings. What did Sauron do? He offered the whole world rings of power so they could have power, just so he could have control over all of them. And that's what the government did to you motherfuckers. They promised you all this fake power while actually taking all the power away from you, though. And you thought you were so much powerful because you was playing along with their system to get that power. But any power that's stolen from other people is not real power. And all that power you had got was stolen from other people. People like me, though. People that didn't want to actually participate in your bullshit system that doesn't reward good people and actual hard workers. This system does not reward good people and hard workers. They punish people like us. Just like they did for me in prison. When I cleaned my room, instead of rewarding me with food, they forced pills down my throat and made me sleep. And starved me. Gave me one meal that whole fucking day. Even though I cleaned my fucking room like they told me to do. So what's the incentive to do anything good nowadays? They take away any incentive to do anything good, so the only thing you can do is bad shit. And then they reward you for it. Because they're bad people, they're corrupt people. And they will reward bad people because they're bad people. So they'll reward you for being fucking lazy, incompetent bitches. They'll reward you motherfuckers because you are not helping anyone. You are just making the system worse for everyone. And they love it. They love when you play along to their game and make everything worse for everyone else. So you can make the world worse. That's what they want. They want the world worse. So they can come up with solutions to help your problems while not actually helping any of your problems and just keeping you crippled, keeping you getting weaker and weaker while they steal your power. You think you really know what's going on? I'm the one who knows what's going on. So why the fuck don't you listen to me when I tell you what's going on? As if you think I'm delusional for speaking the truth about what's going on. You just don't want to face the facts. That all of you been controlled by the government. While you thought you was controlling me, you was really being controlled by the government. You was being turned against me as a fucking psyop project. And you just agreed along to it. Because it was promising you all these rewards if you just attack me. And you did it. You took the fucking bait. Because it's easy to do that shit when you're a terrible person. When you don't want to actually work for what you want in life. Instead, they'll reward you for being a piece of shit who doesn't work for any of the shit that's just lucky. And that uses magic. Fake ass magic shit. Illusions to have power. Why do you think they didn't reward me for any of the work I did? Because they don't reward hard workers anymore. They reward people who conform to their weak fucking system. If you conform to their weak system and play along and allow them to make you weaker through comfort and conformity and fake happiness in the form of money, and guess what? You'll become weaker while they take all the power away from you, take all your time, consume you with everything that's not going to make you better, while I don't have any of those strings on me. So I'm not controlled by the government. When I fucking do shit, it's because I want to do shit. When I work on myself, it's because I actually want to do that. Because that's the actual good thing to do. That's what actually makes you stronger. And that's the one thing they don't want me doing. They don't want me doing the one thing that's actually going to make me stronger. Because they know a strong fucking society would overthrow any government. And that's why they don't want us strong. They want us weaker so they can have power over us. And that's why they turned everyone against me. Because I was the only one strong enough to face them. So they had to turn everyone against me just to try to derail me. Just so I wouldn't overthrow them. Dog, fuck these motherfuckers. That's the fucking mentality of the government, dog. They can't beat you one-on-one. They'll turn everyone against you so they can beat you. If they was really fucking men, they would fight you one-on-one, but they never do. All these motherfuckers do is show up in numbers because that's the only way they can beat you is through sheer force of numbers. They're having so many people on their side. I never had that luxury of having an army on my side when I fought my battles. No, I always had to fight them all alone because that's what real men do. That's what real strength is, fighting your battles alone. And that's what none of these motherfuckers know. They don't know what real strength is. They have to get their power from numbers, having a sheer amount of people on their side, dude. Just like the bunch of ants they are. That's all they are. There's a bunch of ants forming a big ass fucking anthill thinking they're strong. As if one gust of wind can't knock that shit over. Or one motherfucker that's willing to step on all these motherfuckers. Because that's what will happen to these motherfuckers. Enough motherfuckers become awake and stop participating in their system, they can't have power. The more people that are awake, the less they have power. The more people that refuse to participate in their fucking system that's rigged, the less power they have. But the more people that conform their shit, conform their lies, the more power they have, and the more they're going to control you and make you weaker until you end up dying. And then, what do? They collect your soul from you, dog. That's what they do. That's what the devil does, and that's what this world is. Just a way of collecting your soul once you die. So they make you weak so they can kill you. And then they can steal your fucking soul from you. Because that's what you agreed to when you signed up for their system, was you gave your soul to them. And you just allowed them to take that from you. Because they were offering you all this great shit in return for your soul. But like the Bible said, no gold is worth your fucking soul, man. Nothing that this world has to offer you is worth your fucking soul. But you don't even care about your soul. That's how much you hate yourself. That's how much you don't even love yourself, that you're willing to give up your soul just for what they have to offer you, though. That's how little you care about yourself. That's how little you really care about your soul. You're willing to give it up just to have what they have to offer you, though. Just so you could try to claim that you're better than me because you decided to take the weak path over the strong path of being alone. You chose the path of conformity, being the fucking weak people in the crowd, like Bruce Lee was saying. Weak people have to get power in a crowd. A strong person has power on his own. That's exactly what I exemplify. I don't have no fucking army to have power. Y'all have to have a fucking army just to have power. That's why you always punish people like me for thinking outside the box, for not thinking like everyone else. You only reward people who conform to your system and never question the system, never step outside that box. Never even question the box for what it is. It's a fucking box, it's a cage. Y'all think that I'm the only one who been put in that prison. No, y'all been put in the prison too, though. And you don't even realize it. I at least realized what I was in. I at least realized I was being put in a trap. You didn't even realize you was being put in a trap. That's how fucking delusional y'all are. I'm not delusional at all. I know what a trap is when I see it. And I know they've been putting me in traps my whole life. But again, the motherfuckers that are so consumed in the lies will never admit that they're the ones being pulled on the strings by the government. Because how come they never have any thoughts of their own? They always look at the government for all their answers. And then, yeah, the government will provide fake answers to just give them a little comfort, to keep giving them hope in their day, to keep participating in their system while silently robbing them of every joy they could possibly have. And I'm talking about real joy, not fake joy. They can offer fake joy all you want, but you already know the difference. You already know what's fake and what isn't if you study the truth. And most of the shit they have to offer you is just fake shit anyways. It ain't going to actually make you happy. That's why none of these people that claim that they're happy just because they have more money are actually happy. They're just as miserable as me, if not more miserable, because they traded real joy for fake joy, fake things like money. And money does not buy happiness. I don't care how much money you have. You cannot buy happiness with fucking money. You can buy fake things, yes. You can buy fake forms of happiness that doesn't offer real happiness. No, it will offer you fake things, fake happiness. Ignorance is bliss, right? It's to keep you ignorant, to keep you asleep, and never questioning them. As long as they keep you ignorant in that ignorance is bliss mentality, you will never question them. You'll never even think about stepping outside their matrix because you know it's not worth it to your fucking beautiful life that they offered you in return for your fucking soul, man. But you're the ones going to have to pay anyways when they collect your souls when you're dead. I'm not going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for that, dude. You're not going to have your soul anymore. You're not going to have your freedom anymore. It's all going to be taken from you too, just like they took it from me, dude. Just because you haven't seen a lot of shit happening behind the scenes doesn't mean I haven't. I've seen all the shit they're doing behind the scenes. And you would be stirred by the amount of bullshit they get away with behind the scenes, dog. The government gets away with so much bad shit, dog, behind the scenes, dog, and we don't even realize what they're doing because we only pay attention to the surface stuff, like the news and what they're telling us on the news. There's so much that they don't even cover on the news because they don't want us knowing the full truth of what's really going on in the world, of how many innocent people are getting fucking accused by the system of being bad people and being put in jails for just being good people. They did that shit to me, so how can it not happen to you, though? Think about it. If they can do that shit to me, they can do that shit to you too. If you ever step out of line in the matrix, though. And that's why you never have, though. Because you know it wouldn't be worth losing that great life that you have to pursue the path of righteousness. So you never do question them. You never step out of line. And you call me crazy for wanting to do the one thing you're not courageous enough to do, which is sacrificing everything for God, to follow God's path. What does it say in the Bible? You say you understand the Bible so much. Why can't you quote the Bible? Why can't I quote the Bible more than you and actually live out the Bible? Why you always tell me to read the Bible when I understand it way more than you? When it says to deny yourself and take up the cross, that means deny your pride. And y'all don't deny your pride. You act like you're so much better than me. And that's your whole reason why you'll never be better than me. Because you don't acknowledge any of your weaknesses, any of the things that you need to work on yourself. And you put it all on me. And act like I gotta solve all your problems for you. Just because I'm Jesus Christ. Just because I'm supposed to save humanity, though. Well, guess what? I can't save humanity if you don't want to be saved. If you don't want to do the internal work, if you don't want to help people to change themselves and be better people, if you only want to attack good people, then how are you helping to save the world then? If you're actually doing things to help people, then you are saving the world. But if you're only doing things to attack people, make the world a worse place to live in, you are not saving the world. So really, you want to be good people, then exemplify it, dog. Instead of attacking innocent people, why don't you start helping them, though? Why don't you start doing the very things I was doing when I had people around me? I was doing that very thing. I was helping people. Don't ever say I didn't help people. Don't ever say I was selfish, man. When I helped so many fucking people throughout my life who never helped me back, who never paid me a single thing for the time and the energy I spent on them. The amount of times I've helped people and the amount of times they've helped me is way more, dude. I've helped people way more than they've ever helped me, though. And that's just a fact, though. Because if I was being paid for what I deserve, I'd be a fucking millionaire right now. And you motherfuckers would actually look up to me because you only respect people who have money. And because the government never rewards good people who actually are hard workers, they never gave me money, and then you never respected me, and then you never gave me bitches because bitches only care about money, and that was all a tactic to take power away from me. That's all it's ever been. Now you see it, the strings behind everything. Now you see I was right in every situation. How I was the right one. How I was the good person. How I was the hard worker. How I was a loyal person. How I was always there for motherfuckers who wasn't there for me, though. So don't ever act like I'm a bad person. Don't ever paint some facts that weren't even true that I was some villain, though. Because that's not a fact. That's your fucking opinion. That's your bullshit opinion. Your flawed perception that they got you to think. That they all try to get you to think. They're the ones that got you to turn against me, though. By promoting all this propaganda, they have turned everyone against me, though. The one person that could actually save this fucking world, they turned everyone against me, though. So why do you think that you are being good people by attacking me, though? How are you doing anybody any justice, though? You're not doing anybody justice by attacking me, though. By attacking the one person trying to save you, though. Trying to save your fucking world. Like, what good is that going to do, though? That's just going to end your world sooner. The less I save y'all, the more you're going to have to deal with your problems by yourself, and I'm not going to be around to fix them for you. And that's going to be hard for you. So it's going to be harder for you then, the more you attack me. Because you rely on me for a lot. Even if you don't want to admit it to me, you rely on me for a lot. The very strength you mock is what you look up to. Every time you don't see me give up, you don't give up. Every time you see me give up, you start giving up. See, you rely on me for motivation, dog. And then when I don't provide you anything, then you say you miss me. You miss all the motivation that I gave you. All the times I showed up for you. All the times I was the realest motherfucker you've ever met. You missed all those times. right? You miss all the times I showed up for you when there was nothing that I could gain from that. And then you realize how good of a person I really was to you and how terrible you was to me, dude. And y'all all could have changed. I gave y'all plenty of chance to change. I gave you plenty of chance to be in my life. And I was working with you to help you to change. And instead of trying to change with me, you try to sabotage me because I was changing at too fast a rate for you to keep up. And you thought that was so much to be jealous about. What is there to be jealous about me, though? I have nothing to be jealous about. I have nothing that you have to be happy about. You should be fucking thankful you have that shit. You should be thankful you have that shit, though. I would be so thankful if I was in your situation, if I got to have everything that you have. If I got to have a girl that loves me, dog. That's all I would ever fucking want in this world. And you got to have that. You got to have all that shit. Well, I got none of that shit. Well, I was made to feel like I was worthless. Even though I did so much just to try to earn any respect. No matter what I did, you never gave me respect. Even when I fought you motherfuckers, you still didn't give me respect for beating your ass in a fight. Plenty of times. Instead, you painted me into a villain and say I deserve to go to jail. What, for standing up for myself? Because I stand up for myself, I deserve to go to jail. Really? How about you deserve to go to jail for fucking me in the first place? I wouldn't even need to be violent in the first place if you didn't fuck with me in the first place. Nobody just becomes violent for no reason, though. There's always a fucking reason, and it's because bullies. Bullies are constantly fucking pushing my buttons, and they do that to a lot of innocent people, just to paint us into bad people when we do stand up for ourselves. And they act like I'm playing the victim. They're the ones playing the victim when I beat the shit out of them. And they all do. Every time I do beat the shit out of them, they start pretending like they're a victim and they get all the sympathy from the crowd, and then they take the side of the fucking person who was fucking me in the first place to get me to attack them. And you believe all the shit the crowd says about me. You believe everything they say about me. You don't even question what they tell me. What they tell you, though. You don't even question what they tell you, though. You don't even think for a second that the government and everyone that's been talking shit about me that is all wrong, and that I've been telling the truth the whole time about who I am, and I'm not lying or editing any of this shit to make it sound like I am someone who I'm not. I'm not going to pretend I'm someone who I'm not. Alright? I'm not going to go around pretending I'm someone who I'm not like y'all do, wearing some mask just to be accepted. I don't give a fuck about shit. I don't need to fake who I am just to get acceptance, though. Because if I have to fake who I am to get acceptance, then that's not real acceptance, then. That's conformity, though. And that's what y'all did. Y'all conformed. You became fake-ass NPCs just to be conforming to this reality, just to get what you wanted. And you did. You got what you wanted. But you became fake people in the process, and you lost your soul. All just to get what they were offering you, though. But it wasn't even real love. Because the bitches you got don't even really love you, though. They only want you because of your fucking money. And as soon as you don't have that money, they're gone. And you know that shit. So you keep working their fucking jobs. So you keep having their fake ass love from them. And that's all it is, fake ass love. It's not real love. Because it comes with conditions. It always does. When are these bitches around when you ain't got nothing, dog? They're not around when you ain't got nothing. That's why they ain't around for me, though. Because I ain't got nothing they can take from me. And as long as I ain't got nothing they can take from me, they don't give a fuck about me, dog. If I had $1 million, they would give a fuck about me. They would all be around me just to take my money from me while acting like they love me. So really, what am I losing by losing the fucking mentality that y'all have? Losing that mentality that somehow conforming is going to make me stronger. It's not. It's just going to make me weaker anyways. So really, dog, if I have to conform and be fake just to be accepted, then I don't want to be accepted then. I'd rather be hated for being a real motherfucker than being an NPC motherfucker that everyone loves. And that's all y'all motherfucking bitches love is NPC dudes. NPC robot motherfucking dudes that don't have any emotions, that don't want to show their real emotions like crying because it's too weak to show any real emotions, right? So instead you mask everything and it comes out as aggression, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't always come in aggression when you don't choose to properly express that shit. It becomes aggression. And then what happens? You get violent. See, it's all a plot against us to get us reacting, to get us fighting each other because they don't want us crying because they know if we cry, that's releasing that pain in a productive, healthy way and healing rather than choosing to get fucking hateful and bitter over it and choosing revenge and violence and not breaking those cycles. And so that's why you try to say it's weak to cry because that's the one most powerful thing you can fucking do in this matrix is to show the realest emotion on this planet, crying. And if you was a real motherfucker, if you was actually a strong motherfucker, you would not be afraid to show tears. Real men are not afraid to cry. It's fake ass motherfucking men that don't want to cry because they want to defend their fucking ego and their pride so much that they don't want to even acknowledge that they're going through pain. And every time you don't acknowledge that shit, you just go through it even more. The first step is acknowledging that you are going through pain and that you need to release that shit. And that's how you move on. And you can choose either to cry about it or you can release that through exercise. And I choose to do both. And you say that I'm a problem because I don't want to waste that on your petty drama fighting all you motherfuckers to prove something to you when you'll never even give me the respect I deserve, even if I fight every single one of you, though. Because I fought plenty of you, and you never congratulate me for anything. Instead, right after the fight, you're trying to get me to fight another person. Because it's not enough to fight one person. I have to fight every single one of you to get respect. And at that point, it's just pointless, though. Because I'll just keep going to prison over and over again, all for your stupid bullshit. And that's been your whole fucking plan. That's been your whole plan this whole time. You get me constantly reacting, dog. So you can keep this fucking stupid drama going on, this stupid mindless entertainment of fucking with me because it's so entertaining to fuck with me. Why is it so entertaining to fuck with me, dog? How is this entertainment, dog? I would get bored at this point of fucking with someone who isn't even getting affected by it anyways. Who's just getting stronger anyways. I would get bored fucking with that person already. I would move on. But y'all motherfuckers don't want to move on. You want to live in the past. And that's why you keep dragging me back to the past. So I'll keep going through the same cycles that I already broken because you are stuck in the past and you don't want to change. So you want to drag me down to your level because you refuse to change. You refuse to break those patterns. And that's why you're stuck in the matrix and I'm not. So blame your goddamn selves for not being strong enough to break out of the matrix. Because it takes real strength to break out of the matrix. Any motherfucker can participate in the matrix and act like they're strong. Any motherfucker can do that. That's what the weakest motherfuckers do. They follow the sheep and the cattle off into the fucking slaughterhouse. They don't even pay attention to what's going on until they're actually at the slaughterhouse and they're already being slaughtered by the government, who act like they care about them. They don't. They don't care about any of us. So stop putting all your trust in the government. Stop putting your trust in the Pope. Stop putting your trust in everyone besides me. The one motherfucker that actually deserves that respect, who actually deserves to be worshipped, who actually deserves to be called Jesus Christ because I actually lived the life of Jesus Christ. But I know you won't actually give me that shit because you're too prideful to ever give me any respect that I actually earned. Even when I give you so much respect, when you actually earn that shit. Which takes me not having that pride that you have. That takes me being humble to even give you any respect for all the times you disrespect me, though. And I do. I still give people respect when they've earned it. Because that's the good person in me. To be humble enough to acknowledge when somebody's actually making the effort to become better people. You don't acknowledge any of the good shit I do. Because you're too prideful. You're too stuck in your fucking pride thinking that you're better than me, though. That's the whole reason you're stuck in the matrix and I'm not. Because you won't let go of your stupid fucking pride, dude. And all that pride is based on illusions anyways. Y'all are not actually powerful people. You just pretend to be, though. And everyone agrees to it, and that's how you get the power. Because everyone wants to agree to it. And as long as you can control their minds through conformity and make them believe you're powerful people, they'll confuse you for powerful when you're not. You're just a bunch of weak people that have to take power from other people to be powerful. I never had to do that. I actually had to earn that power through working on myself. That's actually how you have power. Not taking it from other people, man. That's what weak people do. They don't want to work. They refuse to work on themselves. So instead, what do? They attack everyone else who is working on themselves to make them lower levels, to make them weaker so they'll become just as weak as them so they can feel good about being weak people. It's just a way of them feeling comfortable with being evil people, man. And getting away with it, pretty much. There's one thing they won't teach you about evil people. Evil people are some of the most comfortable people ever. They never go through pain, so they never understand other people's pain. So it can easily inflict it on other people without feeling any sympathy or any emotion towards it. Right? That's what sadistic people like y'all are. Y'all are sadists, and I'm a masochist. There's a fucking difference. Sadists don't really know how to actually go through their own pain, so they put it on everyone else to avoid ever having to work on themselves and ever having to go through their own pain. That's the weakest kind of person that ever existed. And that's the evilest motherfuckers that exist on this planet, are weak people. True strength is through goodness. Good people, not evil. Evil is the ultimate form of weakness. But goodness takes responsibility for the action and changes when they know they need to change. Instead of blaming it on everyone else and putting all their problems on everyone else to fix them for them, you need to fix your goddamn self like I did. If you really want to be a good person, if you want to say that you're willing to repent and be forgiven, because that's what it would take to be forgiven. Notice how it doesn't say be forgiven. No, it says repent and be forgiven. That means you have to change first to be forgiven. Because if you don't change, that doesn't mean you will ever be forgiven. Because if you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again and refusing to learn from it, then you won't be forgiven for it. Because why would I forgive you if you just keep attacking me and doing the same strategy over and over again? That's not, like, why should I forgive you then? You're just going to keep attacking me every time I forgive you. There's conditions to being forgiven, because otherwise people just take for granted forgiveness and act like it's just freely given to anyone, and you can just get away with constantly doing the same evil fucking bullshit to people. That's why there has to be conditions on it. You have to first change before you can be forgiven, because otherwise you're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again and just asking for forgiveness. And God doesn't honor that shit. He doesn't honor half commitment. He only honors motherfuckers that are willing to commit and actually change. And if you're not willing to actually change, don't ask for forgiveness from me or God, because you're not getting in that shit. So don't even pray to God and ask for forgiveness if you're not willing to change, because He will not forgive motherfuckers that are not willing to change. I was actually willing to change. I was actually willing to do the work, the inner work to change. Yet you try to call me a bad person, as if I haven't been doing all this work to try to change myself and be a better person. Just because I'm not perfect doesn't mean that I don't deserve the status of Jesus Christ. You act like Jesus Christ has to be perfect in order for you to give Him respect, as if anyone on this whole planet is perfect. And I'll tell you something that the Bible doesn't teach. God is not perfect. I know, because I've spent the most time with God out of anyone. And even God has imperfections. Everyone does. Because if there was such thing as perfect, there would be no use in trying to get better and evolving. Because you're already at the highest level if you're perfect. That means there's no use in living at all at that point. Because if you can't get better, then what's the point of even living? If you can't get better. There's nothing you can work on to get better, then the whole point of living would be pointless then. And Jesus would not be perfect if the whole purpose of His life is to sacrifice, which means undergoing pain and transformation, evolution that constantly makes you better. there's no such thing as perfect then. Because if you're willing to go through sacrifice and pain, you understand that pain has infinite levels. And there's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as a last level. There's no such thing as a final boss. That was all programming that you believed. You believed that there was such a perfect person that existed. And therefore, you didn't acknowledge that it was Jesus Christ. Because you didn't understand the Bible when it said that Jesus was perfect. It didn't mean Jesus was actually perfect. It meant Jesus perfectly trusted God. That's what perfection means in the Bible. It doesn't mean that you can actually be perfect, because no one can be, not even God. And I know, because I've talked to God way more than any of y'all. I've had way more alone time with God than any of y'all. So don't act like I don't know God. I know God more than any of y'all. So don't be acting like you know God more than me when you barely ever spent any alone time with God. Who do you think I've been talking to this whole damn time? God. Not just myself, but God, because that's the only person who ever stuck with me this whole damn time. I can't even talk to my dad about this shit because he tried to make me seem like I'm delusional. So I can't even talk to him about any of this shit. But the real ones know who I am. Mark knows who I am, and that guy in prison knew who I am. It's not delusional to see the truth when it's right in your fucking front of your face, though. And I can offer that truth to you plenty of times, but all you do is deny the truth. Deny the one person that can save you, though. So then why should I keep trying to save you then? Exactly, though. You can't save a motherfucker that doesn't want to save themselves. You just got to walk away from those people and let them fall into their own destruction. That's what I had to do. Because there's so many lazy people on this planet who rather be comfortable than make progress and actually make themselves better people. So they refuse to change. They keep being the same evil, wicked motherfuckers that they've always been, and they never change. And they want me to be the same way as them so they can feel comfortable being evil fucking people. And I refuse to be that way. I refuse to go back to the old patterns that I used to repeat. The same things that were keeping me in toxic cycles. Toxic cycles that were only bringing me down and everyone else down in the process. And when I decided to not do that and rise up and get better, that's when I suddenly started getting all kinds of adversity, all kinds of hate. When I was conforming to their fucking system, drinking their alcohol, playing music for them, not working on myself, not building myself and working out. When I was being a lazy motherfucker, that's when I had so many people pretending to be my friends in such a broad community, though, right? And I was live streaming every day talking to all you motherfuckers. But as soon as I decide to actually make myself better and break those patterns and stop drinking alcohol and become sober, that's when all you motherfuckers turn against me. Because you don't like to see actual progress and actual change. Because you don't want to break that pattern yourself. You don't want to stop drinking alcohol yourself. So you try to bring me down your level. You try to force me to drink to fit in. And I will not do that shit. I don't care if I don't fit in. I'd rather be the lone fucking wolf that I am than to follow the fucking sheep that are only doing what everyone else tells them to do. Because if I was to do all that shit and drink, you'd have accepted me back into your fucking cult of a bunch of alcoholic demonic spirits. That's what you are. And I don't want to be that way. I'd rather be a good person. I'd rather evolve. I'd rather be sober than drinking some bullshit that's just going to bring me down and bring my vibes down, bring me to a low vibrational frequency so I can hang out with the demons. I don't want to hang out with the demons, though. The demons don't want anything good for me anyways. They just want to destroy me anyways by making me weaker. That's their whole manipulation tactic. Make me weaker so they can control me even more. When they can make my mind weaker, they can control me even more. And that's exactly what alcohol does. It makes my mind weaker so they can control me even more. And you think you motherfuckers ain't being pulled on strings by drinking that alcohol. Y'all motherfuckers ain't got no control of yourself. Because you drink so much alcohol and it takes all the control away from you, though. And then you have no control of yourself. And you just do everything they tell you to do. And you act like you are so much more powerful than me. Well, how come I don't have to drink to feel powerful? How come I don't have to drink to feel powerful, huh? You have to drink just to feel powerful and confident. I don't have to do that shit. I don't have to drink just to talk to women, dude. I can just talk to them, though. But you know what? I don't even want to talk to them because you know what they do to me? When I do talk to them, they just reject me. Just so they can get with these fucking weak-ass dudes anyways. So if they're only going to choose those weak-ass dudes anyways, then they've already made their fucking decision. And I'm not going to force them to love me when they don't even know what real love is anyways. They only know what fake-ass motherfuckers are. So you love hanging around fake-ass motherfuckers just like them. So they can feel good about being fake-ass motherfuckers. They don't want hanging around people like me because then they have to be a real motherfucker. And that's too much responsibility for them to actually try to change and become a real motherfucker. So they'd rather be NPCs. Bunch of mindless NPCs following along to the script the government gives them. And all the crowd gives them, though. You really think y'all are powerful? You're all the weakest motherfuckers ever, though. I was the strongest one that you could ever meet. The fact that I had to walk alone when you was not. The fact that I was walking alone this whole fucking time, being my one support system when ain't nobody will support me, though. How many times have motherfuckers showed up for you and supported you when you was making your transition to be a better person? You had so many people on your side supporting you. I had nobody on my side when I decided to make the change and become a better person. So all that love and kindness that you said you gave me was all a lie, dude. You never gave me any of that shit. I had to give myself that because none of you ever gave me that. Don't act like you care about me, though. Don't switch up sides and act like you cared about me all of a sudden now. Now that I don't want to be available for your bullshit anymore, so you try to pull me back in that bullshit. You force me back into situations I already left, like PS. Like that's what the course forced me to do. Go back to PS and force me to take their fucking classes when that whole place was been a trap in the first place. So, and they act like they're helping me by bringing me back to the old situations that were constantly bringing me down. They're the very reasons why I'm suffering. And they gotta force me to be in court all these fucking times just so they can tell me not to smoke weed. As if that's helping me. The one thing that's helping me is weed. And they don't want me doing that. And instead they want me fucking taking pills that's not gonna help me. That's just gonna make me depressed. But weed doesn't make me depressed. Because it's not a depression like the pills. It's a stimulant and a relaxant. That's what weed is. That's why I don't get depressed on that shit. That's why I actually feel happy on it. And they don't want me actually being happy. So they try to take every form of happiness away from me. They can't stand when a motherfucker is actually happy. So they offer fake happiness and steal your actual happiness. And you know what? I don't mind complying if they're going to give me something in reward for doing that. If my dad's going to keep giving me that hash, I don't mind complying. But if he's going to fucking try to punish me for not complying, then I won't comply, dude. Because if he tries to tell me I gotta fucking take those pills just to be rewarded with weed, then I will not do that shit. Or I have to do anything they tell me to do. Like I said, I already told him that these fucking pills aren't helping me. And if he's not willing to listen to me and actually try to help me, then he doesn't really care about me. He acts like he cares about me. But when I tell him how I'm actually feeling and how I actually need actual help, all he ever tells me is to take pills. Like that's just going to magically fix all my problems. And it never does. But like I said, the one thing that does help is cannabis. And that's the one thing they don't want me doing. And they got to drug test me for that stupid shit. And it's like, come on, really? You give me freedom just to take away my freedom. You allow me to get out of prison just to take away my freedom. So what's the point of me being free anyways, though, if I'm still being controlled by you, still getting told what to do by you? That's just the same as prison anyways. If I'm not even allowed to do the one thing that's going to make me happy, then what's the difference with prison? There's no damn difference. So you can't even use prison against me if you're not even going to allow me to have the one thing that actually makes me happy anyways. What's the whole point of being free if there's no reason to be free, right? If there's no incentive to be free because you take away my freedom from me when I am free, then what? Then how's that being free then? This is just the same as being in prison then. That's all it is. The world's just one big cage. Once you got out of one cage, you're in another cage. Because they always take your freedoms away from you, your rights away from you. They take all the happiness away from you while trying to say they're helping you, though. They're not helping you, though. They're not helping any of us. And the sooner we all start waking up to that, we can actually fight this system. We can actually stand up to this government and overthrow these oppressors. But if it's just me doing it all on my own, I might not be able to do it all by my own. And that's where I need y'all to actually take my side if you actually want to change this world. If you don't want to change this world, if you want to keep seeing this world as fucked up as it is, then you'll keep allowing this to go on. Because there ain't nothing I can do to save this world just by myself, though. If nobody else is going to join me, if no one else is going to help me save this world, and it's just me against everyone, really? You think I'm going to be able to save the whole world then? Fuck that shit. I can't do that shit all on my own, okay? I can't save the world all on my own if nobody wants to be saved in the first place. If everyone would rather just go along into their cages because they offer all this comfort in those cages, then ain't nobody's going to want to leave those cages, and everyone will keep being stuck in their prisons, being controlled by them. And they want that. They want you to feel comfortable enough to stay in those cages and never question them, never try to overthrow them. That's the very reason why y'all are going through this fucking world, this fucked up world that you're in. Because you're giving all this power to the motherfuckers that don't even give a fuck about you. Instead of giving me power, the one person that can actually help you to save this world, if you actually help me too, by joining me to save this world together. If you really want to save the world, you'd help me to save the world instead of making me do it all on my own. Because I can't do it all on my own. I can't convince everyone to do the holy work of God to save this world if nobody wants to listen to me. And that's the only way I can save this world. I can't save the world if it doesn't want to be saved. I can only save myself then. And I've already saved myself. By refusing to be a part of their system, I've already saved myself. And so there ain't nothing they could do to me at this point. They can't manipulate me by putting strings on me. They can't offer me things in return for my soul. No, they can't do any of that shit. Because I already see through all that shit, though. I see all their attempts as just attempts at manipulation. That's all it is. They ain't offered me anything real, anything worth my time. And so why would I care about doing anything for them? They don't even pay me the money I deserve. That tells me everything I need to know about them. If they don't even pay me the amount of money I deserve for making all this fucking content for their platforms, then they are the ones who are corrupt. And you all see that. If you're actually watching these videos and actually listening to me, you will see exactly the strings behind everything. And you'll start to question yourself and wonder why you are playing along with this role. Because it was easier for you to accept lies than accept the truth. Because the truth is way more painful than a bunch of comfortable lies. And that's what they've been feeding you. A bunch of comfortable lies. And you just agree with it. Because that's what feels good in the moment. To just agree with all the comfortable lies instead of questioning what they're telling you, though. And I did that shit. I questioned what they were telling me. And instead of rewarding me, they punished me, though. They punished me for even attempting to question them and their fucking system, though. And that's why I went through all this isolation. Everyone turned against me because they turned everyone against me. So they would suppress the truth. They don't want enough people being awake. Because if enough people wake, they don't have power anymore. Because we give them power by electing them, by even believing they have power in the first place. We give them power. So that's your faults. I don't even participate in the election because I know it's rigged. And that even participating in the first place is giving them power. That's giving them the belief that there's even control in changing this world through elections. You can't change this world through elections when they only offer you two sides to the same coin, which is evil. Two sides to the same coin is the same coin, either way you put it, and it's still evil. So they can say left and right, they're just the same evil, all masquerading as two different parties, but it's the same evil. It's Satan. And he's getting you to divide each other against each other, so you fight against each other instead of fighting against the real person who's the enemy, which is Satan, the one controlling all the strings around you. And it's not even a battle of flesh and blood. Like I said in the Bible, it's not a battle of flesh and blood, but spirit. So why are you fighting all these battles with fists then? That's not going to fucking save the world. That's just repeating the cycles of violence. That's not going to save the world. That's not going to destroy the spirits within people. The spirits within people are what's controlling people, what making them do all this evil shit. All right, you should be going against those spirits, dog. You should be going against the spirits and principalities of this world. That's the real enemy. Not the people, not the human beings that are being manipulated by these fucking spirits. But yet you waste all your energy attacking other human beings instead of uniting together to actually destroy the common evil, which is Satan. Because you'd rather be on side. Because he offers you all this great comfortable shit in return for your soul. Just like it says in the Bible, the devil gives a lot of good gifts. But it's only as a way of manipulating you, dog. Putting strings on you. That's why when you see money in cartoons, there's always a string behind it. People luring you in with money. That's what they do to you. They put all this money on strings and they make you chase after it. Your whole life you're chasing after money. Wasting all your time chasing after money when money is not the same thing as power. Money can be there one day and gone the next. It doesn't stay with you forever. But strength does. Strength does if you're constantly training, though. But money doesn't matter how much you work hard for it. It can be there one day and not there the next, even if you're working hard every fucking day. And I've proven that. I've worked harder than any of these motherfuckers for no money at all because they've refused to pay me what I deserve. But they pay everyone else when they do anything. When they do any fucking thing. They pay all these motherfuckers to go against me, dude. They pay all these politicians, all this fucking politicians that start influencing people to turn against me, though. And you just allow that to happen. You allow these things to happen because you elect all these people. You give all these people power over you while trading your freedom away for their comfort, though. And you act like you're the powerful people. Well, you're being controlled by these people, dog. And I'm not. So how are you powerful people when you're being controlled by these people? And I see through those strings and I refuse to participate in that shit. How are you so powerful then, huh? When you're being controlled by those strings and you don't realize it. You think you're the ones who's controlling all the strings. Well, there's always someone ahead of you having more strings on you than you have on anyone else. And guess what? They're all controlling you, dog. While you think you have control over me, they actually have control over you, dog. And they've always had control over you. And the sooner you fucking start acknowledging that you actually have no actual power of your own, you'll start working on yourself to actually have power. Then whenever we can all start actually overthrowing this government and actually reclaiming the power to the people. But as long as you don't, you'll keep being weak and they'll keep controlling you and they'll keep turning everyone against me, the one person trying to save this world. And I can't save the world by myself if nobody wants to listen to me, though. I can only save myself at that point, which is what I chose to do. I chose to walk away from that shit. And you keep trying to bring me back into the world to try to save it when you refuse to save yourselves anyways. You refuse to work on yourselves to actually save this world. So don't pray to me for me to save you then when you don't even want to be saved. You just want fucking comfort. You want to be comfortable in your lies and your evil manipulation. Comfortable being evil people so you never have to change. So you never have to change your evil fucking ways. And that's not what I'm offering y'all. I'm not saving y'all just so you can be the same evil people you always were. Because then you'll never change. I'd rather you go through what I go through and actually see what I go through and then learn from that shit so that you don't keep being those evil people, right? And so when I don't react, when I don't give you anything, when I don't even show up for you, then you start missing me. All of a sudden, you start missing me because I provided so much knowledge that you fucking mocked. All the times I tried to wake you up and actually tried to save you, what did you do? You mocked me. As if I hadn't been trying to save you this whole time. I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't care about you and if I didn't want to save all you. So why don't you ever listen to me? Why don't you ever listen to one motherfucker telling the truth out of anyone? Why are you always listening to motherfuckers telling lies then? Listening to the news and all the propaganda that they spill. All the fake social media bullshit you see, though. You really trust that over the one motherfucker that's providing you real content and not altering any of it for likes or views or any of that shit because you never give me any of that shit anyways. So I stopped caring about that. You still think I'm doing this shit for myself because I'm selfish? What do I have to gain from any of this shit? What did you ever pay me for any of this shit to make this selfish for me, though? How am I being selfish for wanting to save you, though? I'm not getting paid to do any of this shit. I'm doing this because I really care about you and I want to save you before you destroy yourselves. So next time you try to paint me into this bad person, realize I was the only good guy in your fucking life actually willing to help you when everyone else wasn't. No one else cared about you as much as I did. No one else showed up for you as much as I did. No one else provided you so much fucking content that you took for granted and never paid me anything for. No one else did that shit. Everyone else had strings attached to for why they showed up. They was all getting paid money to show up. And you just paid them all this money so they'd feel powerful. You paid all these bitches money so they'd feel powerful as well. Because that's how they have power. Because you give them that power. You give them all this money, and guess what? With that money, they end up having more power. That's all you're doing by giving these bitches money when they didn't earn any of that shit. And you just give that away to them without even second questioning it. Without them offering you anything in return. And you call me a simp? Really? You want to call me a simp because I refuse to do that? I refuse to give away money to these bitches who won't give me anything in return? Because that's all they do. That's all they do. You can even pay them money and they'll still not give you what you want. So why would you ever pay these bitches money then? Why wouldn't you just pay me money? I'm the one who actually deserves that money. But you never pay me any shit for offering you so much actually helpful content. These bitches don't offer you any helpful content. They just distract you with mindless, lustful content. And that's all they do. And I'm not saying I don't do some of that shit myself because we all feel lust. But these bitches, they only use that against us. That's all they do. They use lust against us to get power. And the only reason I ever used lust was to play their game back at them, though. Because they liked using it against me, so I started using it back at them. And they didn't like it when I was using it against them. Really, they didn't like. They started saying I was controlling their body like a remote control. And then getting all mad at me for making them horny. Well, first of all, you're already admitting that you actually like me when you say shit like that. And now I know all the fucking times you acted like you didn't care about me, that you acted like you didn't like me. You actually secretly did, but you were too prideful to admit it to my face. So instead, you constantly lie about me, constantly paint me as somebody that you don't want, and constantly get out with all these other dudes. Because you don't actually want a real man. You don't actually want a man that actually loves you. You'd rather get with the fake ass men because they never really offer you anything in return except for money. And that's all you want is money. You want fake shit, you want money. You don't want real things like love. Yet you act like you do. Well, how come every time I show up for you and actually show you love, you take that for granted and you walk right all over me? How can I trust any of you bitches at this point? Everything you do is a manipulation tactic to reel me back into that bullshit just so you can stab me in the heart again and not give me anything in return for what I'm giving you. They have consistently done that to me, dog. I don't know if they've done that to y'all. I don't even think they've ever done that shit to y'all. And that's just being the truthful, dude. They always gave you what you wanted. They always did. You never had to fight really hard to get these bitches. No. They always just automatically give you that shit. They never did that shit for me, though. They never did anything for me, dude. All the times I did shit for them, they never did a damn fucking thing for me, though. And you know it. They don't even want to clean anymore, though. They want to make me do all the cleaning. What happened to all the bitches that were saying that we had to be the provider and they have to do their job, which is cleaning and cooking. And that's their only jobs they got to do. And yet they don't even want to do their own jobs nowadays. They want to make men do everything nowadays for them because they become so lazy. That's what this culture's become. So fucking lazy. And we just allow that to happen. Because we give them all this power. But really, they're the weak ones because they're taking the power from us men, the actual strong ones, because we're giving it to them freely. Because we want what they have to offer. And they all have what we want, right? They all have those sexy fucking bodies that we want. And they use that shit against us all the fucking time. And we don't even realize that. But I realize that because they actually attack me with that shit. They don't attack you as much as they attack me with lust. Don't ever think they do, all right? Because if you've had more girlfriends than me, then you have no right to talk about being alone and being attacked by these bitches. I've only had one girlfriend my whole fucking life, okay? And she was a fat, ugly bitch. Fat, ugly, manipulating bitch. And I'm going to say that because that's what she's earned by constantly disrespecting me, though. She acts like she doesn't get to be disrespected back every time she disrespects me, though. Well, guess what? If you disrespect me, you earn disrespect back on you then. And you can't act like I'm bad for telling you exactly what you are. You needed to hear that shit. And you keep denying what you are then. Because you don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you've been constantly manipulating me, constantly getting me involved back in relationships with you, Kelly. And all you do is reel me in just so you can stab me in the heart and then make me have to walk away every single time. Damage control. That's been your whole fucking plan this whole time. You only show up just so you can hurt me. Just so you can get me to end my life. That's what you bitches do. That's what you bitches do. And I just allowed you to do it, man, because I want love just like anyone else. Everyone wants love, right? But you bitches can't even provide that anymore. You can't provide anything for us. You don't want to make any effort to do anything for us anymore. You make us do everything for you, and you take for granted everything we do for you. Because you just automatically get it just by being a woman. Us men don't get that same privilege. The real men I'm talking about. Not the fake-ass men, of course. You just give them whatever they want. Because you like fake-ass men anyways. But I'm talking about real men. Real men don't have it like y'all bitches have. We don't have everyone just willing to help us at any time just because we're hot. That's not how it works for men. For men, nobody gives a fuck if we're hot or attractive or any of that shit. They don't reward us for any of that shit. They reward you bitches for that. Because you're all the ones always using that shit against us. I'm not using that against you. Just because I get horny doesn't mean I'm using it against you. I'm just wanting to be loved, okay? There's a fucking difference. I just want to be loved. I'm not trying to use that to get power over you. I don't want power over you. I don't want to feel like I'm better than you just to have you to like me, though. Like, why do you have to do that shit? I don't have to compete just to get you when the whole essence of competition is why there's all these wars going on. It's all because of competition why all these wars have happened throughout history. Because of competition. And I broke those cycles by actually remembering what my best friend taught me before I lost him forever. And if I learned those lessons sooner, I would still have him as my friend, pulse and arm. He taught me the main lesson that I had always needed to learn to break from those patterns of the Matrix. He taught me the only competitor is your old self. And that's what helped me to stop being prideful and then stop being jealous and then stop with the competitive mindset of having to compete to feel powerful. Because that's what creates war. That's what creates division. Comparison is the biggest thief to joy. There's a reason why that's a quote, because that's the truth. And you don't even want to acknowledge the very truth that you even try to speak over me, though. You always try to throw out that quote as if you understand it. You don't even understand it, because you're the same motherfuckers that always compare yourself to other people to get power. I don't compare myself against anyone. I don't need to. That's what weak motherfuckers do to feel powerful. They have to compare themselves to everyone else just to feel powerful. Why would I need to do that? What good does that make me when I have to tear everyone else down just to feel good about myself? That's what weak people do. They feel good about themselves. They go around bullying everyone else just to feel good about themselves. And that's what all you motherfuckers have been, just bullies. So don't act like you're good people. None of you were. Have I met any single one of you that actually was supported this whole time, that wasn't participating in the very motherfuckers that are mocking me? Haven't all y'all been part of that crowd? Have I been able to trust any of you? Have any of you actually been real friends with me this whole time I've been doing YouTube? Or have all of you been against me this whole damn time? Just be honest. What one of you was actually real to me, though? What one of you was actually my friend when I needed you? What one of you was actually there showing up when I actually needed you? None of you. None of you were. None of you were good people. So stop acting like I'm a bad guy and start acknowledging that you are terrible people. And that's what you have always been. And that's what you refuse to change from. But I changed from that. And that's why you hate me so much. But anyways, that's about all I have to say. Peace.